this is our first try for the poetry evening. We got quite many nice poems. Okay, you can see the title of the first the title of the first poem is Patient. So patient.
We have already practiced a little bit.
You can already practice it. So would you like to read? Yes.
Yeah.
I leave you my space. Whoever is reading. Come here.
He has 3 points. So
wow.
No, two.
So we have the author here.
We have the author here.
Yes, with everybody, the author.
You guys.
okay. Yes, I'll just read it. We all wait for people, passion, inspiration, fate. We all wait for troubles to fade, for ourselves to reach goals or make the right ones in the first place. We all can't wait to be someone, to stop being someone else, to seize the day and for the day to cease, to rid ourselves of the disease of imposter syndrome, to feel at home with ourselves. We debate with delicate balance between delayed gratification and frustration. Every moment delayed demands compensation. We give up by acting to counter inaction, by overcompensating on unfulfilled promises, by replacing compassion with fury. But wait, what's the point in waiting for something that may never materialize? Why should we waste hours on off chances and hopeful glances? Why prolong what could be concise? On the thin line between glass half full and glass half empty lies the gift and curse of patience. When the time comes, where would you fall on that line? Only time will tell. You just have to wait for it. Thank you.
So what would you think about? Where would you fall if the glass is full or half empty?
Personally, I am glass half full when things are easy, glass half empty when things are difficult.
What's the point of it? Waiting. But the thing is, I think too many people are waiting all their lives, or like most of the life, they're waiting something, they're passing our time. And you're like, right, it might never materialize what we are thinking or waiting. Something might happen before, yeah. So why not?
So I'll just go through, if it's okay, I'll just go through it stanza by stanza. So the first one obviously is about how we wait for different things. And I've just tried to capture what waiting is like in different points of view. In the second stanza, it's all about waiting to become our best self. But waiting, how we're not able to wait to become our best self, but also not able to withstand being our imperfect self. And we want to seize the day, but we can't wait for the day to seize. Because we want to begin the next day, but we can't wait for this day to finish. And at the same time, we don't want to feel like we are not enough yet. That's why I mentioned the imposter syndrome. And also how we can't wait to feel at home with ourselves. So then in the next few, I talk about how waiting is perceived short-term and long-term, where we're trying to have delicate balance between delayed gratification while we wait for the results of what we do today, and frustration when we don't get that result. And every moment that we delay it, it feels like it's wasted. So we sort of try to demand compensation. And then when it feels like too much is too much time is getting wasted, we do things without thinking too much about them. So by acting to counter inaction, overcompensating on unfulfilled promises, and replacing compassion with fury. This could be external, this could be internal. And then we think about whether waiting is even worth it. So we think about whether what we're waiting for may never even arrive. So what's the point of waiting? Then it's not possible to answer the question unless you define what is it that you're waiting for and what is that goal, whether it's worth it for you or not. That's what decides whether the glass is half full or half empty. So that's basically what the poem's about. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, is he audible for you also? Oh, very nice. I was thinking the replacing compassion with fury in a like journey of theosophy, the replacement should be in the end got to this point that it's opposite, that replace the fury with compassion or try to do it. But yes, we have so much to wait for. Do we have others who wants to like say something about this nice poem? Then we can go on. Next one.
Okay. This is a lot more dark. And this is more of a spoken word poetry, so it will go fast. But let's see. The world is burning and we're drowning in its ashes, watching the flames spread into our funeral pyre. The world is burning and we are wondering if the cyclones will put out the flames or feed them. If the floods will extinguish the hate that burns in our hearts or submerge us in it. The world is burning and we are feeding it logs, wondering why the wood won't melt. The world is burning and we are watching from afar, praising the fireworks, warming our hands cold from the blood of those we have let die. The world is burning and we are trying to bet who would burn first, who deserves the inferno the most, whom to blame and whom to roast. The world is burning and we are using the flames to warm our toast. The world is burning and we restrain the firefighters, lest we offend those who lit the fire, lest the world's right to burn be extinguished. The world is burning, and so is humanity. The point, there's a couple of typos in there where the P on my keyboard stopped working. So yeah.
But philosophical beings of light, and the breathing in and out is actually low burning without the flame. So I'm like trying to see how the humanity is burning. But yes, by the actions. Would you like to comment on this?
This is more about how we see things happening in the world and how our actions are completely not at all geared towards putting out the fire. How we do everything else except what we need to do to put out the fire. So that's what this was about.
What would be the action to put out the fire? This is not that they don't care, but do you have something in mind?
I think those who are closest to the fire, those who have access to all the water or whatever extinguishes the fire, those who are most capable of doing that should start doing it. And those who aren't close enough should draw out attention that this is an urgent thing.
So do you think we who has got some philosophical teachings are closer to the water? We should start extinguishing the world and humanity.
Extinguishing the hate Not
Like
like
we should the fire.
Yeah.
Trying to understand here. So the fire means the hate and the all the what do you call
all
war.
the immediate problems of the world.
Huh.
More literal would be war.
Huh.
The more subtle would be all the aggression that's happening
Correct.
across the world.
And so, what will be the water for that?
Compassion and whatever gets rid of the conflict, or at least pauses the conflict with as little damage as possible.
The world is burning and we restrain the firefighters. It was just, I thought it was timely with literal LA when the fires were happening. So, did you write it after the fire?
Can you hear him?
This is actually so. If you didn't hear what Hari had asked, he was asking if there's any reference to the LA fires that were burning recently. It wasn't because I wrote this poem much earlier. I wrote this poem sometime in July last year, and that particular line, "We restrain the firefighters," that particularly is something where it's not enough that we're not going and actively trying to put out the fire, but we're stopping the people who've actually got the power to stop it. So that is something where we are holding ourselves back as a collective, and not letting the people who have the power to help actually help people.
Mm. Yeah. Oh, so lovely. This is really, really nice. Let's go on. So, I don't think Glover is yet here. So, would you like to read Glover's poem?
Doubt steals through the night, cutting up all the flowers in my garden, leaving me bare and shivering with fright. It's right there before me, but I'm suddenly barred from entering heaven. The streets are strewn with pieces of my heart. People trample on them without a care. I pick up a piece and see my face reflected. Am I really there? But a ray of light streams in from above. I squint my eyes in its glare. It's thin but unwaveringly bright, and it's not going anywhere. There's a crack through which the light shines, and the world around me starts to crumble. As color returns to my eyes, I realize I'm the prisoner of my own castle. How did you find me? I ask the ray of light. You called to me from the depths of your broken heart, even though your eyes lost the ability to see. I'm always there within you, waiting to be set free.
Oh, so nice. Have our eyes lost the ability to see? But every once in a while we see anyway. How did you find it? And it's all also about doubt.
Nicola wants to speak.
Yes, please, Nicola. How do you see that he wants to speak?
Did he raise his hand?
Eh?
He raised his hand?
Nicola is there?
Yeah.
Where? Nicholas, yes, please. You can unmute yourself, please, if you want to say something. No? Okay.
You can, maybe you have to let everybody, no, people can talk, no?
People can talk, yes. Yeah, the streets are
Yeah.
strewn with pieces of my heart. The people trample on them without care. Pick up the pieces and see my face reflected. Really. There is doubt, and if we are doubting, we don't see clearly. But also, yeah, with the heart, like she said, can see the ray of light. Do we have any other thoughts about this one?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes,
Hi,
please.
I'm Keegan, one of the Theosophists from Singapore.
Oh, lovely.
Hi, yeah, this is a very lovely poem. I think when I read it, I feel a lot of tension between perceiving the world of the unseen versus the world of the seen. Uh, who wrote this? I think the doubt probably stems from that perception of the hidden world, that it's not always very clear, the world of the occult, that's not very apparent to what we are accustomed to in our everyday lives when it comes to seeing things externally that are concrete. And I think this poem deals a lot with that tension between having that faith in the beauty of shining through with the inner spirit, compared to what is usually portrayed externally on a daily basis. And probably the poet probably had a breakthrough in the fourth and fifth stanzas, when she finally realizes that that the doubt made her the prisoner of her own castle, and that within her there is always rays of lights that is always there to set her free. So I think, yeah, it's just a very nice poem. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing, Kegan. Thank you. Yeah, we are prisoners of our own castle. I'm cutting all the flowers in my garden. If I cut all the flowers, the garden feels empty, leaving the bare and shivering young.
Oh.
But still there's light. Yes, please, Christopher.
I was just thinking about that phrase also. I'm the prisoner of my own castle. So I was thinking like, the castle can represent like our beliefs, our point of view. And I was thinking that maybe the doubt is somehow related to the ray of light, because when we are at peace with ourselves, we have our own belief system and we're comfortable with that. But then the ray of light comes in and it gives us a new perspective on things. And that doubt begins to change how we view our life. So maybe the doubt and the ray of light is related.
Yes, yes. If we start to see things in a different way, the doubt, yeah, because things have several like perspectives, and if you are able to see more than one perspective, you got like a fuller view of thing. This is, yeah. Also, I myself is like one of those things. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have another one from Clover. Would you mind reading again?
Okay, fine. Okay. How high can I fly until I fall again? How far can my voice carry my joy and sighs until it falls flat again? Today, I try, just like I did millions of times. When darkness closes in, a choir begins to sing. Through each diverse voice shines the same ray of light. The choir forms a rose. Hearts have never felt so close. I carry the weight of the world. My weight the world carries with me. Our rose, it blooms bigger within. From our hearts to the forests to the solar system and back again. Our song grows and goes on and on. Coming back into my room, I feel the heaviness again. But my wings are now the world's wings, and in the universal choir I sing.
Oh, wow. I can see there's some hints of the mystical rose ritual that there might be doing, and there's this beautiful meditation, guided meditation, where you go to the universe and come back again, and yeah, this is like a map or like a of this thing she's been witnessing. My wings are now universal coercing. This is so beautiful. May I try this? Yeah. Yeah. Do we?
This meditation they do in Singapore.
Yes. Yeah, it is Singapore. Yes, and I think every Friday we have a meditation through Zoom. So yeah, I can send the link later. So let's go on. Next one is from Aditya. So I have yeah.
The title? There's no title.
There's no title in this poem. I'm thinking, would you like to read it, Sarah? This one poem.
Okay. In a garden of life, a seed I lay, tucked beneath the earth in hidden sway. Each raindrop a whisper, each sunbeam a song, shaping my essence as they stretch long. Along my journey, faces have met, their stories and smiles I'll never forget, teachers of joy and bearers of sorrow, guiding my todays, shaping my tomorrows. A playful smile, a hollow tear, both sides of life crystal clear. No contradiction, but a union so divine, in every experience a hidden sign. Tiny sprout emerging, shy to the light, nurtured by moments through day and night. A maze of lessons, yet I yearn to seek. Truths yet uncovered, not just the meek. Was it the wind or the rain's gentle kiss that carved my path in this vast abyss? Each little experience a thread in the loom, weaving the fabric in nature's womb. In this quest of self, a thought takes flight. Am I an individual in my own right? With every encounter, every choice, I hear the echo of life's voice. So here I stand in thoughtful reprise, a culmination of moments under the skies. In this vast puzzle, do I fit as a piece, or am I the artist and life my masterpiece?
Wow. I think it's the same, like we are the piece of the puzzle at the same time in a bigger picture, and we are also the artist, and it is our own doing whether our life is a masterpiece or something less. Oh, wow, this is really, really nice. I like how in this poetry there's more of this um,
Balance?
balance, but also like the
Rhyming,
yes,
rhyming,
Yeah.
have a good pattern.
yes, she has good pattern. Life is a garden and see. Do we have any ideas about this poem?
Yeah, I think this poem represents the journey of the poet. The seed is personified to be the poet, and the poetry flows in sort of like the transformation of the seed to a sprout, and a sprout to probably a plant, and a plant to a flower. But of course, in this context, taking the conscious evolution and development of the self, as can be seen in the later stanzas. It's very nice. It really has that quality of a flow and that Budang's Roman kind of journeying of the soul, and the elements that shape the soul into developing a conscious self. Yeah, so it's a very nice journeying kind of poem that speaks out to me in that way.
Yes, thank you, Gagan, thank you. Well, let's see further. So, Smita, would you like to read out your own poem? Let me see. Smita.
Can you ask to unmute? Well,
Yes. I don't know if Smita is able to right now. Okay. Harry, would you read Smita's? Okay.
Wisdom of the tree. From my window, I watched the tree, strong and proud, bare branches in the winter, but a promise unbowed. Weeks passed, and buds began to grow. New leaves sprouted, a vibrant show. Birds sang, creatures rested in its shade, a heaven of peace where hearts were made. Blossoms bloomed, spreading joy and cheer. Fruits appeared, a gift sincere. Humans came with access, desire in their eyes, taking its form, but not its spirit's rise. In death, its essence lived on. In every piece, its legacy shone. The tree taught me love, selfless and true, to give and cherish as it always knew. In life and beyond, it speaks to me of purpose, kindness, and being free.
Wow.
By Smita Pragya.
Wow. Really beautiful. I like very much this how she draws the attention how we use the wood, but what we are using it. I had a teacher who once said, if we are cutting a tree, if a tree grows on in the forest, it could give a shelter for the animals, for the birds, for the insects. The total ecosystem. But if you're cutting, we're taking it away. If you're using am I what kind of thoughts I'm thinking? If I'm doing some work with this chair and table that helps the humanity or helps, then it's okay, because the tree sacrifice is like some kind of in a way justified. But if I'm doing something evil with that wood, if I'm like I don't know, hurting somebody, or if I'm thinking bad thoughts, how to do some crimes or things, then I'm like also did bad karma for the like tree, because I'm misusing his sacrifice. So that was a like interesting thing. But here I very much like how she brought out that the tree has give this lesson of love, self lesson through, like he has given this sacrifice, this gift, and it's our thing to learn it. Yeah. So, Smita, if you can speak, then you can comment this poem if you're able to. No, okay. Then maybe next time. Okay. So next poem I will read myself. Dry. Life is full of paradoxes, which are logical only afterwards. When you look at them from outside, once you have overcome these paradoxical situations in life, we are all the moon and the sun and the monster, as well as the hero seed in this monster, which awaits suitable growing conditions and our own initiative. When the shell of the egg is broken by an external force, then life ends. When it is broken by the force from within, then life begins. Dry. That's all that's expected of you. It has been wisely said that it is better to try greatly and fail than not try at all. Yeah, to give an honor, the last thoughts are not mine. The try is from masters who said that the only thing that we ask from you is to try. You don't have to succeed, you just have to try. And the last two lines, it is better to try greatly and fail than not try to. 2 years ago, we had one book that we investigating in youth gathering in Adyar. It was by Annie Besant's articles. And one of these articles that I very greatly investigated, she brought out this quote from Giordano Bruno. And some people say that Giordano Bruno was the previous incarnation of Annie Besant. And tomorrow is the 17th of February, when in year 1600, Giordano Bruno was burned in fire because he went against the church beliefs. But he was like a great thinker ahead of his time. And I very much like this message. It's better try greatly, like the little burn inside the eggshell, and to broke out, and then the life begins. And I feel like we are also like little birds who are trying to broke out in a bigger life. Yeah. But I see that Svetislav has like to comment, so please.
Yes, thank you very much, and especially thank you for this 4 lines: when the shell of the egg is broken, and etc. For this parable, for this allegory, I will use it for our theosophical work, I think, and I think that we are this kind of eggs, and so the masters of wisdom cannot break our shell. We have to do it ourselves. That's why it's our work, basically, and they have to rely on us in that part of the work. So that can be a meaning, also one of the meanings behind these lines, I think. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. So, do we have any other thoughts? If you say this is me, yes, please share them. You have to speak.
I like the line where you say heroes lead in the monster. Where that's very interesting. How both the hero and the monster can be within the same person, and it's more difficult to cultivate the hero than to cultivate the villain.
Yeah.
So that was interesting.
I think something interesting which I've in the theme of this poem is like we were discussing the definition of what is a failure and what is success. It's comparative. It's not one definitive thing. I think the only definitive thing is the trying, the attempt.
Yeah.
Somebody's life or work could be considered a failure by the majority.
Yeah, like you did.
For example, George Bruno, he was burnt on a stake. But so from the perspective of the church, he was a failure.
But now we look back, hundreds of years later, and we think,
exactly.
what a great person.
Yeah. So I think, even if you look at the lives of our founders, like Annie Besant or, Madame Blavatsky and then Annie Besant, from one point of view, one can say, their lives have been unsuccessful, like towards the end. I'm just saying, so I think there's always people who would define what is success, what is failure. But I think the trying is the only thing that I think is real.
Yeah.
And it's nice that this poem emphasizes on the trying.
Yeah. I got inspiration from masters. Thank you. We can.
Is there any particular Bruno quote that inspired you?
This was the last two lines.
Oh, the last two lines.
Bruno quote. It is better to try greatly and fail than not.
try.
The Annie Besant. What was the name of this book that had this? Well, anyway, it is from one of her articles, but that we had like that we studied here 2 years ago.
The spiritual life.
Yes, the one. Thank you, Annie Besant. Yeah, yes. So, and there sorry, I talk about because I just had so many thoughts about it. But it's like he explained that from our point of view, some people, like you said, are failures, but masters see that what's happening here is only the result of the karma, and sometimes we cannot, for karmic reasons, we cannot succeed. But how much we evolve through trying, this is important, not the outcome of it. Yeah, like some might fail, but he may learn so much through this failing than somebody else who may succeed easily and doesn't learn anything. So better take a big thing and try greatly because you learn through that something. Yes, and one day we will broken the action. So let's see the next one. Okay, would you like to read, Mike?
Yes.
Yes, please. Mike didn't have any title.
Mike is not here. No.
Yeah.
Enemies charging at you relentlessly, armed to the teeth, goaded from behind by 1,000 spears. Rats clinging on your ankles, climbing, biting. Hands break through the ground and reach for your weakness. Forked tongues hissing your ear, whispering secrets. Back at the majestic, proud halls, once beloved, the people eager to witness your end. A treacherous knife silently slides into your back. You turn around, all familiar faces, bowing, smiling, but the knife twists. Shattered, haunted, exhausted, filled with anguish. This ruthless world wrenches your heart and guts your soul. It tears you to pieces as you watch in silence. And then you suddenly realize that actually they are the losers, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter at all.
Wow. Little bit darker. Yeah. But it's also maybe like a journey of the ego, like you do something, you got
I
backstab.
mean, I understand. The other day I was getting a quote, I think it's from the mother from Auroville, and they say something like, the more you are reaching towards something, the more you have to leave behind another part. The work goes in two ways on a sense. I feel there is an aspiration, and there is another work which is about knowing, governing your grossest appetites, your desires. So there is always like the burning world.
Yes.
On a sense, a huge fire has to happen inside of you, a huge broken has to come, because this light coming through has an expression which is not the world, material world where we live has not made a special mold for this light to come out. It's kind of the opposite, no?
Yeah.
So I think here is also talking about how will you do not initially find the outer easy conditions to start this journey. On a sense, how do you will have to go through, and probably how will you be misunderstood? So for example, I talk on my own basis. I come here to live in a jar. I don't have a theosophical family. So they respect, but they think I'm crazy. They think I've been taken by a sect and this kind of thing. So, but ones have to make a choice, and then somehow you know that slowly, as they will see you every day, because you know what you are doing is the thing, they will understand, no? But maybe initially you will have to face something, and may they talk on the back and they are like, okay, check. I don't know. There are some of these things, no?
Yes.
And then you need to, I'm sure many of us have faced this, no?
Yes,
that
yes.
you get this kind of, I don't know how you call it, and then you will have to go against some tendencies around, for sure.
Yeah. This is so true. I like how you put the previous the lines from the previous poems into context of this, the burning life and the light beam that break through, and so on. Like because they are actually talking about the same like struggles that we all face, and the struggles are going on in this material plane, like in this physical, but like you said, in the end of the day, it doesn't matter at all. You can think it's in the end of the day, you can think the day is also like an epoch, or like a aeon, or like the end of the like period. And it didn't like really, I mean, it mattered in a way that it helped you to grow, but it didn't matter in that way that you need to take it like seriously. Like in the end, it didn't matter because you go over this paradox, you like outgrow it. Maybe, yeah.
But also, it's not just outside people, it's also within ourselves. We also have our own thoughts that would prevent us, and our own
Structures.
structures and grosser appetites and all of these kind of things.
Yeah.
All these things have to.
Do we have any other thoughts here?
I like the sudden realization at the end, because in the beginning, in the first two stanzas, the person was actually very frustrated. He was very annoyed. He was very stressed. And then there's that point in time where he realized it doesn't matter. Like at the end of the day, whatever they won, whatever they had, it really doesn't matter. Like in the long run, in the bigger picture, it doesn't really matter. So I like the way that it shifted from that perspective.
Yes.
Totally.
Thank you. Next. So, this is, I guess I can read this. This is Arturo's poem. He sent me whole like book of poems. Also Smita actually but I only choose one, so we can see others, but this is called the sea. When you touch a wild animal, touch it with love, because when you do that, the animal feels well. When you do that, the animals feel love, and everything will be explained to you. Live, but live as if there were no stops. I am the one who understands why things happen. I must say I agree that, but that you should touch everything with love, but I don't mean here touch it with hand, like the wild animal. Like you can touch it like with the loving thought, or like if the animals are like, if you can do something for them. I don't think it's meant like a real touch here. But then again, I do think that animals can feel it. And also the animal could be a symbol of somebody else.
Exactly. I don't think animal is meaning literally
Animal.
an animal.
And I like how he said, and everything will be explained to you, because if you love, you will, it's the language that, universal language. Yes, Vyatislav.
Yeah, the last line is very deep potentially in the meaning, because it implies that there is someone who understands everything, and there is like a separation between one who understands and one who just passes through the experience, and the one who understands gives some advice or teaching to the one who is experiencing. Then we can suppose that animal here might mean actually our personality, that I need to touch with love, and then everything will be explained. Maybe something like that.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes, and also like the wild animals around, like a wild persons around us. If you give them love, then you will understand the lesson of karma you were supposed to understand, like maybe. But live as there's no stops. So you take it like easily. In that sense, you don't get stuck. Maybe it means you don't get like caught up, or like what can I say, like attached. Otherwise you start waiting for something to happen, and the other thing to happen, and so on and so on. So maybe this is the answer to your poem, like waiting, live as there's no stop.
I feel that also it means like because to me it's like every single moment matters. Like it's absolutely all like second by second, minute by minute. It's the experience of life. It's not like some things matter more, or some person or some situation, as we tend
to think,
or we tend to behave respectful in a sacred way when we enter a temple where we talk with a certain person, maybe when we are meditating. But maybe I think he's saying, but live as if there are no stops. It's not like now, maybe that is a thing. And then why things happen, then maybe as everything counts, everything is the story, you know, then you start understanding also. There is not a, yeah.
I very much like what you said, that we are thinking that when we are in a temple or meditating, then we are a certain way, but the everyday life is our temple that we are creating and building around. Yeah, that's true.
Wow.
Mary Kay was saying sentence, right? Surrounded by wild persons. And on the screen, it looks like she's in the between. And I had to do
Why?
a little bit.
I
Wild
was
animal.
It was just a metaphor. Yes, please,
um,
please, Chris.
I was thinking, he says, when you touch a wild
Chris?
animal.
Chris?
Yes, can you hear me? Yes, can you hear me? Yeah, I was thinking that it says that when you touch a wild animal,
Yes, yes.
when you touch a wild animal, you touch it with love, and then it says everything will be explained to you. I think it's the love that knows and understands why everything happens. And he just says to live, and you live without that fear that makes you stop. You just touch everything with love, and then that love will kind of explain everything to you, not in an intelligent kind of way, but more of a feeling kind of way that you're not going to be afraid of the animal. You're just going to live life as if you're not afraid of anything because you touch everything with love, and that love kind of gives you an affinity to everything, and it explains everything to you, not in a cerebral way but in a more of a feeling kind of way. I'm not sure if that makes sense to you, but that's kind of how I see the last stanza of the poem.
This is so nicely said. Thank you, Christopher. I think this is exactly what it is that, like you said, love will explain you. Yeah. Exactly what you said. Very nice how you can, this thought I had inside, give it out, so put it in the word. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing.
I just remember something Krishnamurti explained. For example, when he says about the quality of attention towards one thing, for example, fear, our own fears, if we are able to observe fully, like completely, the way he describes it, you can almost imagine how can that be, but there's a different quality. So if we touch a wild animal, like an emotion, which is when you are feeling the emotion, just can you observe it? Can you be with it? Can you, instead of running away, just stay there with love, with, just without,
Oh, yes.
with a kind of impersonality, but being there to try to understand in a,
This is another very nice way to see the same thing.
yeah.
So this is like the wild animals are like things inside of me, like the feelings and thoughts.
You understand the feeling.
You understand why, what is the movement of fear?
Yeah.
The movement of the emotion.
I also
Why it came from, what's happening, what is going on. Yeah.
If you're, somebody explained what is the love. Love is like attention, like unconditional attention you give. You look, you're being there with this emotion. You're not trying to press it or move it away or anything. You're there with, and you see until it's like loses its energy. I think Vincenta How Jr. has like a book where he has similar exercise. Christopher is something like that, self transformation. Yeah, very nice.
Hello, can I say
Let's
something
see.
about the poem?
Yes, Lava.
Yeah, I feel like I like how gentle the tone is. When you touch a wild animal, touch it with love. The repetition there, and the repetition of when you do that and when you do that. It's like a very comforting kind of a tone. So yeah, that is a very good use of repetition. I feel like to kind of make you feel what love is like. This patience, understanding, and also I feel like that the first line of the second stanza, live, but live as if there were no stops, and then I'm the one who understands why things happen. To me, it seems to say that live as if everything is connected, and it's like we're zooming out to the I who understands the universal I that understands everything from a connected interconnectedness from the viewpoint of interconnectedness. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. So we have another very lovely poem, probably our youngest writer here. Yes, but I think Vignesh has promised to read it out.
You want to read it, Yuna?
I can read it.
She can read it now. Juna, can you?
Would you like to read it?
Okay, fine. So I wrote a book about. Oh my God. I wrote a poem about books. So it's not really deep. It's just like information about books. But I'll be adding a little things as we read the poem. So books are my favorite things on earth. You can read them whenever you're bored or lonely. Books are one of the best companies, as in, like, when you're alone, you can read them. There are different types. There can be books about everything, and there are different types of books like fiction, non-fiction, etc. Different books also have different authors, and my favorite is Ross Welford. So read a lot and expand your knowledge. I also want to add something. So books are actually the first. Books are the first way that humans, other than poems and speaking, the first way that humans also expressed their feelings other than speaking and writing poems. So yeah, and you should always respect books because they give you knowledge.
Yes, and a lot of people can give with the books knowledge to so many people afterwards. They are already
Yes.
gone.
And the best part is that every pair of eyes that looks at one book, each pair will see something different. Like, yeah.
It's like you have one author of the book, and each one who is looking is another author because they are reading a little bit different story. Wow.
So each person has a different view, but it's about the same thing. Also, please don't judge a book by its cover.
Oh, by its cover. But it has really beautiful cover.
What does Ross Welford write?
Mostly science fiction.
Reading one of his books.
Yes. It's about okay, it's really interesting. So there's a boy and his cousin in 2023, and another pair of cousins in the future who are trying to, well, the ones in 2023 are trying to connect with the future. So it's really interesting.
The book's name.
The monkey who fell from the future.
Oh, really nice. I think one of the beautifulest things that also the Theosophical Society is given is like the books, like the Secret Doctrine, and we have the Key to Theosophy, Isis Unveiled, and a lot of the books. Like even if people are not coming to the society, I think those books and articles and things that has been written have given these thoughts out in the world, and they're there, and they're affecting the world. Yeah, I think it is very true. Thank you so much. poems. So, I think this is our last poem. So you're the only one who haven't read yet. Can you see?
Louder or
Do you want to come closer?
Musical. Declare it, brother, from the unrevealed center of the soul. Declare it, sister, from the whirling breath unfolding in your voice. Let it be. Let the declaration and the wind. Let it shine. Let the statement sing in its melodious yet silent choir. Let it live. Let the proclamation manifest in the ecstasy of a clear and clean laugh. Let it be free. I, the blossom of a rose. I, the eye of a flying eagle. I, the dazzling sun in the breaking dawn. I, life, salute the life in you. Declare it, brother. Declare it, sister. Life I am.
Oh,
By Miriam.
very nice.
It's like an anthem.
Yes. Life I am. Let it shine. And then as an animal or in life in you, as a person, I also see like there's a like journey, and in the end you're not only that, you are life. From the unwavering center of the soul. Declare it from the unwavering center of the soul. Yes. Such a nice thing. So can we declare our what is needed?
I think it's about accepting who you are and living your life to the fullest. That's the last one.
This is the last one. So do we have any more thoughts?
Reminds me of I don't know the name. William Blake.
William
to
Blake.
see the world in a grain of sand.
Oh. Speak a little bit louder.
To see the world in a grain of sand and heaven in a wildflower, hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour. It reminds me of that. It's a love for. It mentions all the beautiful things, but yeah, it's love for life in general and seeing life in everything. Very nice.
And
Mary Kay would be very happy to hear. That poem reminds of that great William Blake. Something I also know.
William Blake poem?
No, that particular poem.
Oh, okay.
A lot of you don't like the other parts.
We have a lot of messages in the chat. Yes. I hope there's not poems. Hi, hi.
We forgot to see the chat.
Yes.
maybe share? Yeah, somehow to share.
This poem.
PowerPoint.
Yes.
She finished. We started and finished it like 20 minutes before the meeting. But no, I'm praising her. Yeah, it was done very quickly, very nicely.
Yeah. I had help. Thank you.
Not
Can I just say one more thing about this poem? It feels like freedom to me, like expressing life as freedom, expressing the boundlessness of life and love within everyone and everything as like freedom, true freedom, like what true freedom is. That's the feeling it gives me.
Yes. Yeah. I feel the freedom is like a theme that goes through all these poems, like to get, yeah, to break free or to yeah, reach somewhere like wider place.
And it also reminds me, I want to share the moment from the Lion King, from the cartoon, when Simba sees his father in the sky, and his father says, "You have forgotten who you are, so you forgot me, basically. Remember who you are." So this poem also a little bit like remember who you really
Yeah,
are.
it gives that same kind of a vibe. Especially when at the end of the movie, Simba walks up to Pride Rock and then Mufasa's like, remember who you are. Oh, that part is amazing. It gives the same kind of vibe.
It
Yeah.
makes me want to look the movie again.
It's so good. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, thank
Actually, some time ago, I cut the piece from that movie where Simba talks to his father in the sky and was showing everyone because I was so excited about it.
Yeah.
Very deep philosophical, like meaning,
Mm.
spiritual meaning behind it can be.
Yeah, who we truly are, we have forgotten.
And in Theosophy, we actually have like a one way how to, they actually like way shown like a little bit how to get back to there, but it kind of depends whether we take it and how we will in the end.
No, also the Vanakkam, the Namaste,
Yeah.
is a symbolification of the life in me. Salutes the life in me. Or it's supposed to be.
No, I've always found that very beautiful.
It would be really nice if you write a poem on that next time.
Next time.
Yay. Thank you so much.
That